Yo, what's up guys, welcome to my humble YouTube channel where I bring you fanfiction that will brighten your days. Before we start, a subscribe is greatly appreciated, and don't forget to leave a like and ring the bell icon so you won't miss exciting new fanfiction stories. This is a sequel to Rimuru in Akame ga Kill, Rimuru in DXD by alexkuhar360. Chapter 7. Devil's Rimuru's Pav. After making plans with Luminous, Veldora and I started the process of moving into the new house we will be living in. I could see Luminous already starting her torment of Veldora. I let it happen so that hopefully he will learn, and because it never got out of hand. The next day school started back up. Since I was now living much further away, I was thinking I would teleport to school since it would take a long time to walk. Contrary to my belief, Luminous seemed to have other ideas though. She brought me to an elegant black car in the driveway of the house. I will drop you off and pick you up from school every day in this car. Get in, we don't want to be late. Is she serious? You don't have to drive me. I can just teleport into or near the school. I don't want to trouble you unnecessarily. She just gave me a smirk and proceeded. Oh, I insist. This will also introduce me to those devils so they will understand I am supposedly working under you at the moment. Relax and enjoy. Haven't you ever dreamed about being driven around by a beautiful maid? To be honest, I have never had that specific dream, but I understand what she means. I quickly got into the backseat with my briefcase with teaching materials and graded papers, and we set off. I enjoyed the quiet drive to school. The sound of the engine and wind as we drove was almost therapeutic with how calming it was. When we arrived in front of the school, she stopped the car and got out to open up my door. She acts exactly how you would expect a very high-end maid would. Is this perhaps her hobby? Many of the nearby students looked at me with surprise and shock. Those that recognized we were probably surprised as to why randomly I got a personal driver that happens to be a maid. Today I was wearing some rather inconspicuous clothes, but I was still the center of attention as I walked towards the school building. I was wearing some long light brown pants that hugged my legs tightly with a light blue button-down shirt. Above that I had a simple darker blue sweater. It was a simple outfit that wasn't specifically professional but also more than casual. Today I also decided to wear a fake pair of glasses. Apparently it makes people think you are smarter and have more composure. Since I will most likely be meeting the devils later today, having a more approachable appearance will be helpful. I don't want to scare them off or lead them to attack me. Throughout the day as I was teaching, a few people asked me what was going on earlier. I just gave vague responses like, I hired a maid, or someone offered to drive me. The devils had their eyes intent on me whenever I was teaching their classes. After lunch I was in the middle of a lesson when someone knocked on the door and came in. I recognized the boy as Yuto Kiba. He was in one of my previous classes today, so it is strange to see him again. It is probably some kind of devil business then. This was Issei's class, so maybe he had something to do with him. As everyone in the class turned to look at him, some of the girls started freaking out. Some also started asking to have his children. I swear high school girls were different when I was in school. Maybe there is something in the water. Pushing the thought of some kind of government-distributed aphrodisiac, I addressed Kiba. What can I do for you, Kiba? Is it something for your club? He gave me a pleasant smile and answered. Yes, the president has asked me to pick up Issei Hyodo and Asia Argento to come with me because we are having a club activity. She also requests that you come as well, Rimuru-sensei. Is he asking me to ditch the class one I'm teaching to go with him? If who I assume is Rias Gremory asked him to get me, she might have a screw loose. I replied in a level voice. Issei and Asia, go enjoy your club. Unfortunately, Kiba, I will have to decline since I am currently teaching classes. You can tell Ms. Gremory that I will stop by the club room after school if she has some kind of business with me. Is that acceptable with you? Of course, I will let the president know you will be there after school. Thankfully it was Kiba out of anyone. If it was Ms. Hamejima it would be much more of a headache. As they left, all three of them looked at me strangely. Maybe they are wondering why they can't feel any energy from me. More accurately, they are not powerful enough to see through my aura suppression. I am very good at hiding myself after all. I texted Luminous to park in the parking lot and meet me when school ends. Having her in this meeting will be useful since she understands much more of the internal politics and idiosyncrasies within the supernatural world. Once school ended, I met her in the front area of the school. She was still wearing her maid outfit. I guess she is fine with acting as my servant in front of all these devils. I might have to take advantage of that to tease her. Giving her a taste of her own medicine will be nice. She is the one who volunteered to be my servant after all. As we walked to the occult research club, I walked in front with her trailing slightly behind me. When we got to the front door of the building, I stopped and she stepped ahead and opened the door for me. If I have a maid, I am not going to take away her job, right? When we got outside the main room of the clubhouse, I once again stood in front of the door. This time Luminous knocked on the door. After a few seconds we were told to come in. Luminous and I both sensed the large number of people inside. This should be interesting. Like before, Luminous opened the door for me and I casually walked inside the room with my hands in my pant pockets. I decided it would be a little interesting if I tried to play dumb for a little. "Ms. Gremory, may I know why you called me here?" Everyone was looking at me and it was a little awkward. I wonder what they will do if I feign ignorance for as long as I can. "We wanted to talk to you about the peace conference that happened over the weekend." "I am afraid I have no clue what you are referring to, Ms. Gremory. It seems like you have me mistaken for someone else. Since it seems like you have a lot of company, I will excuse myself for today." After a few seconds she seemed to have some look of understanding and spoke. "If you do not want to involve your maid in this, you can ask her to leave. I understand not wanted to involve other people." She thought that. "I regret to inform you I am still in the dark as to what you are referring to anyways. I trust my maid very much. Anything you say to me you can say in front of her." After that I nodded to Luminous and turned around. She had a slight smirk on her face, probably because now the devils were confused. Could I be a normal human? Having the same first name and hair color as the person they are interested in is not conclusive evidence that I am that person. We began leaving before her and I felt movement behind us. I signaled her to not do anything. As I turned around, Kiba burst forward in a rush of speed. I had signaled Luminous and didn't react. Then as everyone watched, I was ran through by his sword. It wasn't the holy and demonic one I had seen when I first saw him, so it poses zero threat to me as I faked a shocked face as I looked at my chest with a sword through it. Everyone in the room looked at me with shook as I fell to my knees with blood coming from my mouth. Since evolving into a humanoid slime where I lost my slime form, my human body has become much more convincing. For instance, I have red blood and certain other things that make me seem more human. The first person to react verbally was Luminous. I wonder if she is a good actor. What is going on? Master. She ran over and cradled my dying body, and to my surprise started fake crying. She is scarily convincing. "How can you just kill him? You monster. How can you all just watch? You murderer." Then, as if realizing something, Luminous pulled me away and moved away. Are you going to kill me too? Just like you killed Rimuru-sama? You are evil?" The one to respond was Azazel, who was sitting in Rias's chair this entire time. Well shit. The next person to respond was Searsex. Well, that didn't go as planned. Rias, wipe her memory. We will heavily compensate her for this unfortunate incident. It seems we were all mistaken about this teacher. It is a shame a seemingly good human died by our mistake. It seems like Asia wanted to come try to heal my wounds but was too spooked to move. She just looked on wide-eyed. Kiba was also looking down sadly. Why didn't he dodge or protect himself? He seems so much like that masked person. I swear they're the same person. Unfortunately, this is as far as our charade would go. Once they try to wipe Luminous's memory, they will realize it didn't work and become more suspicious. When I gave the signal, Luminous stopped crying and the room was very silent, until one sound got everyone's attention. It was the door opening. Some of the devils must be thinking, "Great, another person to wipe their memories," but they were surprised. Because I walked through the door looking calmly as ever, everyone looked at me in shock as Luminous stood up and closed the door behind me and stood near it. Not a single sign she had been crying before evident on her face. To say our performance got some bewildered reactions to would be an understatement. Well, I can't blame them. Well, that was interesting. How about we get down to business now that I was called here? They all were still shocked. Rias spoke quietly. How though? We just saw you get stabbed and die. I gave them an innocent smile and spoke. I am simply using a clone, nothing to be too worried about. Now what is it you want to talk about? As Searsex was about to talk, I held up a finger signaling to wait a moment. As he paused, the corpse that is me stood up and pulled the blade out of his chest. Once I was standing up again, I was fully healed and my clothes were back to normal. I motioned towards the other me and he instantly turned to black smoke. Plot twist, the one who got stabbed was me the entire time. I knew I was being a bit extra, but I did this all for a reason. Firstly, I walked in normally to see if they could sense any magic power from me at all. When they attacked me and were shocked after I faked dead, I knew they were just suspicious and couldn't actually sense my power. When I sent in the clone, I was interested in if they would be able to figure out it was a fake. Since they couldn't, I now have a good grasp on the level of their perceptiveness and observation skills. Most of all, their ability to see through my ability to hide my aura completely. Since none of them seemed able to see through any of my misdirections, I can assume I hold more power than the people in the room by a decent margin. Since they were still shocked, I spoke again. I never said which one was the clone, now did I? Anyways, let's get down to business. You want to know if I am a threat or an ally, right? Well, I will make it simple for you. I will gladly work with you to fight the Chaos Brigade, but I am not eager to become deeply ingrained in any of your societies. It is strange that the devils and fallen angels are here, but no normal angels are here. Maybe Azazel is also just here by happenstance? The first person to respond was Sona Citri, the student council president. Why should we believe you after the spectacle you just put on? I wonder if you really are an ally. Did she maybe notice I was trying to test them in some way? Either way, I won't be playing her game. I signaled Luminous with a nod and she started chanting something I hadn't heard before. Let me provide you a prayer to the divine. I hope and desire for the power of the Holy Spirits. List. This is the disintegration chant. The anime used a different one, so I am just clarifying. As she was chanting, a large golden magical circle started forming around the room. It was pretty massive. It also doesn't take an idiot to know this is some large-scale holy magic. The faces on the devils confirm it, as some look white like sheets and the stronger ones look surprised and a little shocked. As the spell started taking shape, I couldn't help but think, is she trying to nuke the place? If that spell went off, this entire building would be dust. I guess having a weak showing wouldn't work though. I could tell that it was nearing the end, so I raised my left hand with a motion to stop. When I did, Luminous quickly halted her spell and it quickly melted away back into nothingness. I wonder if she needs a chant at all to cast that. I doubt it. As the room turned silent, I spoke. Ms. Citri, that is what an enemy looks like. I have no need to lie and manipulate you guys, since I could simply overpower you. I hope you won't question my motivation again. I want to beat the Chaos Brigade. I am not opposed to being friendly with you guys, but I do not expect to be making friends. We seem to have rather different ways of thinking. Sona's sister responded. I see, it would be good for us all to work together. We will respect your wishes if you are willing to help with the Chaos Brigade. I hope we can become friends though. To honest, I do not thinking I would really be friends with any of these people other than maybe Azazel. He seems pretty chill and smart. The other people seem too annoying to be around. Alright Luminous, let's go. Our business here is done. I have things to do today and I don't want to be in an overcrowded clubroom all day. As she opened for us to leave, someone interrupted us. Her name was Zenobia Quarta. I think she used to work for the church. Wait. How can that maid use such strong holy magic and not be an angel? Only an archangel should be able to wield such a spell. There is no human on the planet that can use that. In the back, Azazel nodded. He isn't the type of person to ask to your face though. He seems like more of the type that would follow you home and go through your trash to try to find the answer. Who knows? With that, I gave a teasing smile and left, Luminous on my heels. As we walked to the car, since nobody was around, he started talking normally. That was quite the show. I assume you learned some interesting things? I know. I am happy I came. There were so many cute young ladies there, it makes me want to steal them. Is Luminous a secret child predator? She is a demon lord, so anything is possible. I'd prefer if you didn't start kidnapping young devils. Getting on their bad side would put a wrench in our plans. In response, she took on a teasing tone. Then will you take responsibility? What is she talking about? What? Well, if I can't play with them, I will have to dress you up. Even if you say you are a boy, I know there is nothing between your legs. You are really cute too. I wouldn't mind seeing you in a maid outfit. Ah, she. The end.